Time travel isn't just a popular trope in science fiction movies, it's actually a real, proven law of physics. According to Albert Einstein's theory of relativity, moving fast enough through space or sitting near a massive gravitational pull actually slows down time for you relative to everyone else. Astronauts on the International Space Station technically travel microseconds into the future every single day. Forward time travel is a scientific fact. But what happens if we try to turn the cosmic clock backwards? What happens if humanity ever invents a machine that lets us step into the past? Physics tells us that going backward might trigger events so terrifying they could literally shatter the logic of our reality. Today, we are exploring the three most mind-bending time travel paradoxes ever conceived. Chapter 1: The Grandfather Paradox. Let's start with the most famous paradox of all, the grandfather paradox. Imagine it's the future, and you stepped inside a newly invented time machine. You set the destination to 80 years ago, long before your parents were born. You track down your young grandfather, and due to a terrible accident, you prevent him from ever meeting your grandmother. Now pause for a second and think about the logical collapse. If your grandparents never met, your parents were never born. If your parents were never born, you were never born. But if you don't exist in the present, then who traveled back in time to stop your grandfather in the first place? This creates an impossible, infinite logical loop. Chapter 2: The Bootstrap Paradox. Information from nowhere. While the grandfather paradox is about destruction, our second paradox is about creation, or rather, the lack of it. It's called the bootstrap paradox. Imagine an admirer of William Shakespeare buys a printed copy of Hamlet from a bookstore today. He gets into a time machine, travels back to the late 16th century, and hands the printed book directly to a young Shakespeare before he has written a single play. Shakespeare simply copies the text word for word, publishes it, and becomes the most famous playwright in human history. Now ask yourself this critical question: who actually wrote Hamlet? The admirer didn't write it, he bought it. Shakespeare didn't write it, he copied it. The information exists in an endless, closed loop of cause and effect, floating in time without ever being created by an original mind. Chapter 3: The Fermi Time Paradox and the Save Point. This brings us to the ultimate question. If time travel to the past is physically possible, where are all the time travelers? This is known as the Fermi Time Paradox. Think about it. If humanity survives for another 1,000,000 years, someone will eventually invent a way to go back. Even if they have strict laws against interfering with history out of billions of future humans, wouldn't at least one rogue time traveler or historian come back to visit our era? Where are the tourists from the year 3000? Physicists have a chilling explanation called the destination rule. According to advanced physics, a time machine isn't a magical portal, it's an anchor. You cannot travel back to a time before the machine itself was first constructed and turned on. Think of it like a save point in a video game. Until Earth builds its very first operational time machine, no one from any point in the future can ever visit us. We are currently locked out of history. Which of these paradoxes blew your mind the most? The grandfather paradox, the bootstrap paradox, or the destination rule? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.